ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So reading from 10th canto, chapter 1, chapter entitled The Advent of Lord Krishna. Reading text 9 today. Kasmat Mukundah Bhagavan Pituhu Geha Rajam Gataha Kwa Vasam Gnatibihi Shardham Kritavan Satvatam Patihi Kasman Mukundo Bhagavan Pitur Gehat Rajam Gataha Kvavasam Gnativihi Shardam Kritavan Satvatam Patihi Kasmat Why Mukundaha Krishna, who can award liberation to everyone. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pituhu, of his father Vasudeva. Geha, from the house. Rajam, to Rajadama, Rajabhumi. Gataha, went. Kwa, where. Vasam, placed himself to live. Gnatibihi, his relatives. Shardham, with. Kritavan, did so. Satvatam Patihi, the master of all Vaishnava devotees. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON. Translation. Why did Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, leave the house of his father Vasudeva and transfer himself to the house of Nanda in Vrindavan? Where did the Lord, the master of the Yadu dynasty, live with his relatives in Vrindavan? Purport. These inquiries about the itinerary of Krishna. These are inquiries about the itinerary of Krishna. Just after his birth in the house of Vasudeva in Mathura, Krishna transferred himself to Gokula on the other side of the Yamuna, and after some days he moved with his father, mother and other relatives to Nandagram, Vrindavan. Maharaj Parikshit was very much eager to hear about Krishna's activities in Vrindavan. This entire canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is full of activities performed in Vrindavan and Dwarka. The first 40 chapters describe Krishna's Vrindavan affairs, and the next 50 describe Krishna's activities in Dwarka. Maharaj Parikshit, to fulfill his desire to hear about Krishna, requested Sukadeva Goswami to describe his activities in full detail. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Bhakti Vikasa Swami iti namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Kasman Mukundo Bhagavan Pitur Gehat Vrajam Gataha Kvasam gnati bihi shardam kritavan satvatam patihi. Translation: why did Krishna, the Supreme Personal of Godhead, leave the house of his father Vasudeva and transfer himself to the house of Nanda in Vrindavan? Where did the Lord, the master of the Yadu dynasty, live with his relatives in Vrindavan? So here we are continuing with the questions of Parikshit Maharaj to Sukadeva Goswami with his intention to hear about Krishna. And in this particular verse, he is asking two questions to Sukadeva Goswami. As he's been doing in the previous verses, we have heard many other questions. And today's questions are: first is, why did Krishna leave the house of his father and then go to Vrindavan? Why did that happen? That's, he went to Nanda Maharaj's house in Vrindavan. So why did that happen? And the next question is that, where did the Lord, the master of Yadu dynasty, where did the Lord and his relatives, afterwards, where did they go? So these are the two questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj in this today's topic. So Prabhupada starts with the purport saying that these are inquiries about the itinerary of Krishna. Just after his birth in the house of Vasudeva in Mathura, Krishna transferred himself to Gokula. He's from Goloka, to Gokula on the other side of the Yamuna. And after some days, he moved with his father, mother, and other relatives to Nandagram, Vrindavan. So if you see the first line of this purport, Prabhupada so beautifully uses the word itinerary. Now itinerary is, people who travel will know about this word. It is a word used to describe a travel plan, basically. You're going from here, you're going for a tour, and then you, from here, Salem to Bangalore, Bangalore to London, London to America, and then London, somewhere, and come back. So it's a journey plan, right? And it's very interesting that Prabhupada mentions this word, itinerary, to describe about the activities of Krishna. Because if you see, Krishna also is traveling, right? He was born in Mathura, and then he was transported to Vrindavan, to Gokul. And then from there, he moved to Nandagram. And from Nandagram, then many other places, and then eventually again back to Mathura, and then to Dwarka. So Krishna is really traveling. And it is very nice that Prabhupada uses this word itinerary. It's very befitting in this example. So the birth of Krishna and he being transferred to Vrindavan is not anything new that we are hearing. We as devotees have heard this. And not only devotees, many people, non-devotees also, they would have seen in the serial, and it is not an unknown fact. But still, you see that devotees, as we have discussed again in the last few shlokas, devotees are eager to hear it again and again, because these are topics which give a lot of joy and pleasure to the devotees when it is discussed in the assembly of devotees with devotees. So it is very joyful. So I'm not going to describe the whole portion, because that is going to come in the future shlokas where Krishna will be transported and we will know all the difficult. But in short, just to remind ourselves and to relish that pleasure, I would just say it in short what happened when Krishna was born. So as we know, Krishna was born in the jail, and Krishna was born 400 form. And it is said that why Krishna was born in 400 form also is described, that, you know, the story of Prishni and Sutapa, and they had a boon that they wanted Krishna as the son, and Krishna said, for 3 lifetimes, I will be your son. So in this lifetime, they were Devaki and Vasudeva, and Krishna took birth, and he showed his 400 form, and Prabhupada writes in the Krishna book that he showed this 400 form just to make sure, just to tell them that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. don't mistake, I'm not anybody else. I'm not the ordinary child being born out of any other womb. I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So seeing the 400 form, there have been, you can see in, it will come now in the Bhagavatam, there are so many prayers. Vasudeva says so many prayers, offers many prayers, and Devaki also offers. But at the end, Devaki requests that, please Krishna, please you come back to normalcy. Because Krishna came with 4 hands with all the jewelry, everything on his, with helmet. So we don't see anybody born like this, so it's unusual. But Lord can do anything. So Devaki requests that, okay, please, Lord, come to a normal form. So yes, then Krishna comes to a normal as a 200 child, like a small baby. He takes that form. And then Krishna tells, before taking that form, that please, now you, Vasudeva, you have to take me to Nanda Maharaj's house in Gokul and switch, transplant. So what happens is, then by the potency of, by the power of Yogamaya, as we know, all the doorkeepers, they sleep, and all the doors open automatically, all the chains of Vasudeva are released, and he's free. He takes Krishna and he comes out of the jail. And it is described that it is very dark there, but because Krishna is so effulgent, everything is lit up. You know, there is, what is that? Wherever there is Krishna, there cannot be Maya. Jahan Krishna sama Maya andakar, Jahan Krishna nahi Maya adhikar. So wherever there is Krishna, there is no Maya. So the whole place is lit, and then now yes, Vasudeva is approaching the Yamuna, and Yamuna, it's also raining, and there is thunder in the sky. And what happens, Lord Shesha takes the form of a serpent, and then he protects through his hoods. He's giving protection to Krishna. And when he comes close, Vasudeva comes close to Yamuna, it is said that Yamuna is roaring. And is roaring, but still Vasudeva gets a passage to cross through the Yamuna. And again, in Krishna, again, Prabhupada gives a comparison that how Lord Rama, the Indian Ocean, he got a passage to cross and go to Lanka. Similarly, Vasudeva was also given a passage to cross across Yamuna. And then he goes to Nanda Maharaj's house, and he sees the baby girl is there. So he keeps Krishna there and takes the baby girl, and then returns back to Mathura and keeps that baby girl in Devaki's lap. So this is, in short, the story. There were many verses we will go through, but just remind that this is, in short, the story. Now, one very interesting thing which is there in the translation as well as in the purport, it says that, why did Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, leave the house of his father Vasudeva and transferred himself to the house of Nanda Maharaj Nanda in Vrindavan? And Prabhupada also says that Krishna transferred himself to Gokula. So this is difficult for many to understand. It is not that Vasudeva carried Krishna to, yes, in one sense it is, but ultimately we have to understand that this is the will of the Lord, this is the Leela, this is the pastime. Many times we question, many people who don't have much faith, they question why the Lord did like this, why he did like that, and so many things. Yesterday we had one question like that, that why like this, why not like that. But it has to be understood in the context, and it also depends on the understanding of the particular person. There could be many reasons why Krishna was transferred to Vrindavan. One thing we can say that, Mother Devaki and Vasudeva were very scared that Kamsa will come and kill Krishna, and that's why they transferred. Or Krishna was scared, he ran away, ranchod, so he ran away. But all this we can speculate. But the Acharyas are very clear, and our understanding is very clear. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can do whatever he wants to do, whenever he wants to do, however he wants to do. So there is no question in this. But yes, people don't understand. They have different understandings, and they can't, even though they may read Krishna book themselves, but still they cannot understand. Many people read Bhagavad Gita, they cannot understand that Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita, because there are so many versions where it is misleading people. Just recently I went to one doctor. I had to take my son to doctor. So the doctor is a very religious person. He has all kinds of photographs in his clinic, and he wears vibhuti, and he's a very religious. I like him because he does his profession also like a religion. He has his system. When the child comes, he will measure with the tape, everything, whatever the problem. Doesn't matter what the problem is, he has his procedure, he will follow. First time when I was, when I came from the city, when I was living in Bangalore, I was like a little passionate. I was like, I went for vaccination for my son to this same doctor, first time. So I was like, doctor, I want to give such and such vaccination. Come on, give the injection and let it be. And he went on, checking this and wait and this. I was like, come on, boy. Then he gave me dose. This is my way of doing it. If you want, you put it, or I get lost. So he's a very nice doctor. He does that every time. Very religious and this and that. And this first time, I saw Bhagavad Gita as it is on his table. So I was like, very good, doctor. Because many times I've been asking him to come. We know them very well, husband, wife, both are doctors. We've been asking them for years now. We know them for last 10 years. Still they have not visited. They are very good people, very pious people, Brahmin background, but still they have not visited. He told me that I came to Periyar University that day, and I crossed through the temple. I saw the shikhar, but I didn't come. Maybe the Lord didn't want me to come. The standard reply that Bhagavan didn't call me, so I didn't come. So what to do? Maybe whenever time comes, he will come. But I saw the Bhagavad Gita as it is on his table. So I was like, wow, you started finally reading. So he said, yeah, somehow the other, the Bhagavad Gita came to my table. So I said, so did you read something? Yeah, I read sometimes. Then below that book, below Bhagavad Gita, there was a very thick book. He said, I also read this one. So I said, what is this? So it was written Gita Rahasyam by Tilak. So I was wondering, okay, Gita Rahasyam. So I said, what about this? Have you opened this book sometime? So he said that, yes, I opened it and I read one page. So what happened afterwards? It is so deep and profound, I didn't said, it's so philosophical, it's so philosophical. So basically he didn't understand anything after reading one page. But you see how these people, they project, right? So philosophical, I could not, he didn't say I cannot understand, that he cannot admit. But he said it's so philosophical that, I'm not ready for it, like that he was saying. And then he said, but I like Vivekananda, the way he presents is very good, and this and that. So I asked him that, okay, what are you really looking for when you read Bhagavad Gita? What is your... So he told me, see, I am doing my job. Every day I see so many patients. It is so monotonous. Every day patient come with so many problems, fever, cough, cold, anything, So I have my standard thing. It is very boring. But Bhagavad Gita is not like that. So I said, wow, he has some taste, I think. What he said was it's a typical how people speak, who have no knowledge. He said that Bhagavad Gita is the only thing where you can derive whatever you want from it. You can think however you want, and you can get whatever you want. Typical reply, So that's what, it's so creative. Yeah, he used this word, it's so creative that you can get anything out of it. So, I didn't want to contract or, argue with him because he is at a very low level. But anyway, he has Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita and someday he will read. So I asked him, how about Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita? You read it? Yes, I read it. This I can understand. I can relate to it. So I said, I encouraged him that please you read every day and please come to temple. But the point is that people are misled. They may have the inclination. They are coming from a pious background. But unfortunately, they are not in the right path. And sometimes they don't want to. And sometimes maybe the time is not right for them yet. So many factors are there. So that's why they cannot understand these beautiful pastimes of Krishna and his activities. Then there is another category where, atheists, we are not talking about atheists and outright demons. That is, we don't have to even discuss that. But there are people who are favorable, like some are even devotees. Sometimes devotees also have a lot of doubts that can really Krishna do this? Can he lift the Govardhan? How can 7-year-old boy for 7 days on his left finger? All this looks too much. It's too much to digest, this is too much to digest. So recently I was reading the third canto. In that there is description of devotional service by Kapila Muni. So Lord Kapila, who is Bhagavan himself, is describing what is devotional service to his own mother. So there I came across, maybe who is reading Bhagavatam very often would already know about this, but for me, who is not so regular, I was really surprised to see some description of devotional service given there. So there, Kapila Muni is, of course, okay, let's go one step back. We know there are three kinds of devotees, Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. Okay, that's one kind of devotees. But here what Lord Kapila is explaining is different grades of devotional service. So like we have any activity which can be done in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. So similarly, devotional service also can be done in this category, which was very surprising to me. And not only that, all the 9 processes of devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, all those, each activity, like you can chant in the mode of ignorance, chant in the mode of passion, chant in the mode of goodness. So this explanation is given. I would like to just read a few things from there. It is very interesting. So this is from the 29th chapter of the 3rd canto and from text number 7. So Lord Kapila says in the 7th verse that Lord Kapila, the personality of God, had replied. So replied in the sense that Mother Devahuti is asking that how about devotional service, how to perform, and she has a lot of questions. So now the Lord has started replying from this verse. O noble lady, there are multifarious paths of devotional service in terms of the different qualities of the executor. You understand? There are different paths of devotional service. How? Based on what? Based on the qualities of the executor. So how we execute, based on that, there are so many paths of devotional service. So what is the first part now? He's describing, Lord Kapila is describing the first path. He says, devotional service executed by a person who is envious, proud, violent, and angry, and who is a separatist, is considered to be in the mode of darkness. Please mind that this, we are not talking about ordinary people. This, we are talking about devotional service. Along with devotional service, you have this qualities of enviousness, pride, violence, anger. This is not, we are not talking about people who are not devotees at all, or they are not even practicing anything. This is devotional service. So here the word Prabhupada uses separatist. Separatist is, actually Prabhupada will explain that. I will not say that now. Prabhupada will actually explain the word separatist. So in the purport, Prabhupada says that in pure devotional service, the only motive should be to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's a very simple and clear definition of pure devotional, which we also know from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Anya abhilashita shunyam, jnana karma anavritam, anukulena krishna anushilam, bhakti utamam. So it's very clear that the only motive should be to satisfy, to please Krishna. Prabhupada writes in the Prabhupada further ahead, but if one has a motive for personal sense gratification, his devotional service is manifested differently. So yes, pure devotional service, if you have only one goal to please Krishna, then that is pure devotional. But anything other than that is not pure devotional service. So then what it is, if you have any personal sense gratification, then it is manifested differently. That pure devotional service is manifested differently. Such as a man may be violent, proud, envious, and angry, and his interests are separate from the Lord's interest. So that's obvious. One who approaches the Supreme Lord to render devotional service, but who is proud of his personality, envious of others, or vengeful, is in the mode of anger. He thinks he is the best devotee. This, it's easy to relate. Sometimes we get carried away and think, oh, I am the best devotee, I am doing so much service, I know so many shlokas, I'm doing, there are so many permutation, combination, which make us think that we are the best devotees. But this is the benchmark here. You can go through these verses and see where we are. Devotional service executed in this way is not pure. It is mixed and is of the lowest grade, tamasa. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur advises that a Vaishnava, please hear carefully, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur advises that a Vaishnava who is not of good character should be avoided. Again, we are not talking about non-devotees here. This is saying Vaishnava for not a good character. This is something to take a note. A Vaishnava is one who has taken the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the ultimate goal of life. But if one is not pure and still have motives, then he is not a Vaishnava of the first order of good character. One may offer his respect to such a Vaishnava because he has accepted the Supreme Lord as the ultimate goal of life. But one should not keep company with a Vaishnava who is in the mode of ignorance. Okay? So that's the first category. So we discussed about ignorance. Now we'll move on to passion. Before that, the word separatist. So Prabhupada mentions in the second, in the verse number 9 actually, about the word separatist. The word separatist, there are actually two words used in the Sanskrit text. It said bhinna drig. Bhinna drig means separate. Bhinna means different, separate. And drig means vision. So person with a different vision. And there is another one is pritak bhava. Again, bhava means a different way of performing something. So the word separatist must be understood carefully. The Sanskrit words in this connection are bhinnadrik and pritak bhava. A separatist is one who sees his interest as separate from that of the Supreme Lord. So very, very nice and very clear. A separatist is one who sees his interest as separate from that of the Supreme Lord. So that's the ignorance. So Prabhupada then continues the definition of person who is doing devotional service in the mode of passion. The worship of deities in the temple by a separatist with a motive for material enjoyment, fame and opulence is devotion in the mode of passion. A person performing devotional service, he is doing puja in the temple. But with what motive? Oh, if I am a pujari, people will respect me. This is a higher service, this is a higher status than other services. I will be recognized. When I am a pujari, then I get to do abhishek myself. And if you do with this kind of motive, then it is devotion in the mode of passion. It says material enjoyment, fame and opulence. Fame, as I said, yeah, I become famous. I'm pujari of big ISKCON Salem temple. Head pujari. So again, that is a problem. So Prabhupada says in the Prabhupada, mixed devotees or devotees in the mode of passion and ignorance think that the interest of the Supreme Lord is supplying the orders of the devotee. The interest of such devotees is to draw from the Lord as much as possible for their sense gratification. They are thinking that what can we get from the Lord, not that what we can give to the Lord. This is not what pure devotion is. Pure devotion means our interest and the Lord's interest is same. Our only interest is to serve the Lord. When the so-called devotee desires material enjoyment without reference to the interest of the Supreme Lord, or he wants to be famous or opulent by utilizing the mercy or the grace of the Supreme Lord, he is in the mode of passion. So when we are using this fame and everything, we are using devotional service for our own enjoyment, to get fame, name, and that is done in a mode of passion. Then Prabhupada continues the next level, which is mode of goodness. When a devotee worships the Supreme Person of Godhead and offers the result of his activities in order to free himself from the inabilities of fruitive activities, his devotion is in the mode of goodness. Okay, so the third level is where he is doing devotional service in order to get free from the fruitive activity. So that is the third level, which is in the mode of goodness. So now, if you see, we discussed about the three levels, that's the three goodness, passion and ignorance. And as I mentioned before, there are 9 processes of devotional service. So if you multiply 9 into 3, it is 27. And then there is not a clear distinction that you are always in ignorance, or you are always in passion, or you are always in goodness. So there is a combination. So that's why 27 into 3, again you multiply. So that comes to 81. So there are 81 grades within devotional service. that a person can be. So that helps us understand why some devotees behave in certain way when we all doing the same thing. We all are coming from Mangalarti, when we all are trying to apply, we are all trying to do this sadhana bhakti, trying to apply the process, but everybody behaves differently. So this explanation by Lord Kapila can help us understand why somebody behaves in a way that he behaves in a given circumstance, and somebody else behaves differently in the same circumstance. So that gives explanation. Now in the last verse, in this series, the verse number 11 and 12, then Lord Kapila gives the conclusion that what is then pure devotional service, and which actually then brings us back to our today's verse. So the translation goes of the 11th and 12th verse like this: the manifestation of unadulterated devotional service, okay, unadulterated devotional exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's heart, just as the water of the Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean. Such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted, ahetuki, apratihata, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows towards the Supreme Lord. So we know the famous verse, Savai Pumsa Parodharmo, Yatho Bhaktir Adhokshaje, Ahetuki Apratihata, Yayatma Suprasidhati. So same words are actually used. If you see the Sanskrit of these two verses, it says, Madguna Shruti Matrena, Mai Sarva Guhasaye, Manogatir Avichinna, Yato Gangam Basom Buddha. Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya, Nirgunasya hi Udahritam, Ahetuki Avyaya Hita, Ya Bhakti Purushottame. So the same words are used. So Mad Guna Shruti Matrena means just after hearing about the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Avichina means without interruptions. No, it's not, there's no stop. Ahetuki means without any reason. Okay? And Avyaya Hita means without cessation. A pure devotee must engage in the service of the Lord 24 hours a day without cessation. So these are the conclusion, and the best thing what I really liked about this is Mad Guna Shruti Matra, and that Shruti, again, how many times we have discussed this now in the last few days, by listening, hearing the transcendental pastimes, the transcendental qualities of the Lord. That is the best way to progress in our devotional service. And we also see that Parikshit Maharaj is showing these symptoms. He is demonstrating, I mean, Parikshit Maharaj already knows why Krishna was transferred and how he was done, everything he knows. But still he is asking this question for our benefit. Yeah, he is asking these things for our benefit. So you can see the eagerness of Parikshit Maharaj in these questions. And Prabhupada mentions that in the purport also. He says Parikshit Maharaj was very much eager to hear about Krishna's activities in Vrindavan. This entire canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is full of activities performed in Vrindavan and Dwarka. So the whole canto is only dedicated to all the activities, all the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan and Dwarka. And Parikshit Maharaj is very eager. So when we say about eager, really the one thing which comes into my mind is lolium. Is this intense desire to do something. Lolium is actually translated as greed in many places, and we see there are different kinds of greed. One is the material greed. What is that? The nectar of devotion, second verse. Ahet, what's that? Atyahar prayasya prajalpo niyamagraha janas sangasya loliam cha shabdir bhaktir vinashati. So there the lolium, this lolium is described as a desire to accumulate or to desire to have some mundane achievements, so much desire. We can relate to this in our conditioned state, at least in my conditioned state I can say that yes, this one I can relate because we always have this greed of accumulating. We want more money, we want a better house, a better car, a better mobile. So this lolium is the one which we can relate it in a conditioned stage. But the lolium in the devotional stage is a little difficult. When we are in the transition phase, when we, from a non-devotee, now we are becoming a devotee, this volume can be translated, it can develop into, oh, I want to collect a lot of lectures, I want to collect a lot of kirtans, I want to collect, I have a lot of dhotis. Oh, after all, I'm devotional service, right? Dhoti, I'm going to wear Krishna's service only. So that volume can translate in this way also. I have a lot of saris because I have to go to so many programs, so I have to have a lot of saris. So like that, it can be translated. People they're crazy about collecting so many photographs, so many videos. So this is a transition phase where the material volume is being transformed into spiritual volume. But the highest volume which we should aspire for, it is given in the shloka, Laulyam eka mulyam. So the shloka goes like this: Krishna bhakti rasa bhavita matihi khiryatam yadi kutopi labhyate tatra laulyam api mulyam ekam ekalam janma koti shukter na labhyate. Shukter na labhyate. Yeah. Shukrater na labhyate. Yes, right. So pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be had even by pious activities in hundreds and thousands of lives. Okay, how much ever pious activity you cannot get pure devotional. So how can you get it? It can be attained only by paying one price. What is that price? That is intense greed to obtain it. Intense greed to obtain it. So when you want something, you have to have that intense desire to do it. Like if you see people who want to become cricketers or football players or table tennis, whatever, any sportsman or any film star, they really have that intense desire, and then they practice like mad. They go on, you know, this film actresses, to maintain their figure, they have to really struggle. They cannot eat many things. They have to do exercise, and they really starve actually. After having so much money, they cannot eat properly also. So it's sad for them. But the point is that the intensity, that material, the sense of achievement, that I want to achieve something, with that they are pushing themselves to do so many things. The same thing, we have to have that intense greed, the intense volume, that I want to do devotional service and I want to please Krishna. And that is the only way. How much you are greedy, this is a good greed. Normally when you say greedy, it's not a good quality. But this greed is very good. You should have this greed that I want to do devotional service, I want to be serious, I want to chant my rounds, I want to come for Bhagavatam class, I want to do service as much as possible. As long as my body is fit, I want to engage my senses in the service of Krishna. So this greed we should have, this we should develop. So that's why, this morning Bhagavatam class that we have every day, the whole morning program Prabhupada has given is so nice to develop this, our greed for progressing. And that's why we are requesting again and again all the devotees to come, take advantage of all this and drink this nectar. Every day we are hearing this Bhagavatam nectar from 10th canto, and of course whole Bhagavatam, not only specifically 10th canto, because it is the smiling face of the Lord. We are requesting everybody to come and take this opportunity. And I'm more excited. Maharaj is coming tomorrow, and to see his realization on these verses when he starts speaking, that will be even more, the icing on top of the cake. So, it will be so nice. So please come, take advantage, and make your life successful. So I'll end here. If there are any questions, comments, please. Satvatampati, the master. Yes. Amazing, yeah. Yes. Protector of them. Nothing to it. Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you, bro. Yes, Prabhuji. Lolium. Yeah, so Prabhu's question is that we are hearing so many lectures, we are seeing so many photographs, is it okay? So the point is that, of course, I think few days back also we were listening also that whom should we hear from? There are so many people speaking nowadays, if you see on YouTube, many are even devotees, they are wearing tilak and they are doing many things. But I think as we have got instruction from our Guru Maharaj and also from Prabhupada, that we hear people who are really in the parampara. And first, our parampara, immediate parampara is Prabhupada and then our Guru. So I would say that once you have heard your Gurus and Prabhupada lecture, then you can venture into other areas. Otherwise, there is unlimited scope of listening, unlimited thing, and there is a chance that you may get distracted, diverted from the real goal. That you may start listening to somebody else, you like him, and then you may start questioning that, oh, my guru speaks like this, he speaks like this, and there's so much unnecessary complication in your mind which will disturb you and may divert you from your path. So I think it's better to stay focused. Prabhupada has given so many lectures. I think it's one lifetime is not enough to even go through all of them with all the conversation and everything. If you really want to study them, hearing, you can just keep on hearing while doing so many things. But if you really want to focus and study, it's not enough. And Maharaj has given so many also lectures. So I would say focus on that. And as far as photos are concerned, if they really help you in your devotion service, that's okay. But just for fun to browse to them may not be the best thing. But yeah, if they help you, when you see the photo of Govardhan, reminds you of Krishna, Govardhan, the Leela. So in that way, it is good. If that reminds you of Krishna, that helps you in your devotion service, then any activity which helps us in devotion service is devotion service. That's fine. So that's, I think, up to us to, it's a case-by-case basis. Personally, we'll have to judge that really any activity that we are doing, is it helping us or not. If it's helping, it should be okay. Yeah. WhatsApp. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's, yeah, this WhatsApp groups and all, there are so many things they're sending. It's, personally, I remove myself from all the groups, and whomever I want to send, I send. What to do? It's like this, you can, otherwise there are so much distraction, WhatsApp, Facebook, so many, everywhere they are saying we are using this tool to preach Krishna consciousness. But how much can our mind assimilate? Otherwise, then you get distracted. So as Prabhu said, I think we have to go back to basics and go back to our books and read them. And that was because, you see, when this WhatsApp and all this didn't exist, that time also people were becoming devotees, no? It's not that now suddenly revolution, we have made so many devotees, no? It's not like that. When Prabhupada time, there was no, all this was not there, but still there were more devotees were made, and they were more serious, if I can say that, than we are now, right now. So I think technology is good to some extent, but it's a what is that, two-edged sword, it can be used in a good way, it can be used in a bad way also. So again, this is, yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I got the point, but I just adding to that it can be. Yeah. Anything else? Yes, Roji. Yeah, 10 lecture of Prabhupada, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. One lecture of, yeah. 100 lectures of Prabhupada, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yes. And that is what is happening. Many devotees are not listening to Prabhupada lectures and they listen only to others. And then they are not able to figure out if he is speaking right or wrong. And they get diverted. Because unless you hear Prabhupada, you don't know what is the standard. When once you listen to Prabhupada lecture, you know, okay, this is what is a symptom of a devotee, or this is the philosophy. Then when somebody speaks against that philosophy, then you'll be able to recognize. But if you have not heard Prabhupada lecture, how can you figure out? So same happens with the guru. I mean, it's a high level, but if your guru is speaking as per Prabhupada, how will you know? Unless you have heard from Prabhupada, right? So that's very important. Yes, Prabhuji. Mouth, yes. Yeah, the intense greed. One is not enough. 2 years are not enough. Yes. Yes. Yeah, and such desire only can happen, can develop in the association of devotees. Unless we all come together, it's not on our own, we are zero. We cannot possible. It's not possible. Only when we hear this thing, now when we go out of this Bhagavatam class, we say, oh, wow, it's exciting, now I'm going to start reading. And then once you go home, because the same intensity is not there, but we have to again and again hear and try. We should not give up. There is always hope at the end of the tunnel. We should not give up. We have to go on. This process it definitely works. We have seen that it's not going to work, but we have to have little patience and persistence. We have to keep on going. Then it will work. Yes, Roji. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's what it is. Lord is allowing it, and Satyabhama is Lord's wife. She's not an ordinary woman. Like yesterday, I think Stavabri also mentioned that. What did you mention that Lord wanted? I can't remember, but you mentioned that why Balaram. Yeah, you were mentioning that. Oh Krishna, I forget what is that? Ah, yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, why Balaram has his own Rasa Leela. So the point that he made also the same thing, that Lord enjoys Balaram having his Rasa Leela, and that's why he's doing it. So same thing can be applied for Satyabhama also, that Lord likes it like that. He likes that kind of relation with her, that she forces and then he does it. So he has so many wives and so many rasas that he likes to enjoy. He likes to fight, he likes to do so many things. So I think that is how we understand it. Yes, yes, definitely. Definitely. Yes. Okay. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.